Hello! Welcome to the Patrick's Day show. Thank you so much for coming tonight. It means a lot that you're here. How many people in the audience are named Patrick? Do we have any Patricks in the crowd? Okay, we have some Patricks. If your name is Patrick, then this show is for you. Today, this is our gift, really, to you. Tonight we are celebrating all Patricks everywhere. And right now I would love to invite to the stage my favorite Patrick in my life. Patrick. Give it up for Patrick.
Hi guys. Very special day today. Patrick's Day. Here we all are. Thanks for coming, everyone. We're gonna start off with a little memorial, a little remembrance of all the Patricks that came before me. So sit back. Patrick Swayze. Give it up for Patrick Swayze.
OG.
That's what it's all about.
I love that.
He's probably dead.
He will be.
Yeah, I feel like it. I don't know. His name's Patrick.
We all die.
Oh, that's me. I'm not dead.
That's a bald guy?
That's a bald guy. I don't know.
That's a bald guy?
He's not dead either. He's just... maybe someday he'll die. Yeah, he could be dead right now. I don't know. But that's just Derek.
I don't know why that. Okay.
Alright, Derek. Patrick Warburton.
Okay, I'm starting to feel like you just Googled like famous Patricks. Like, what is?
Oh yeah.
No, that's not what I told you to do.
No, I told you to actually. No, like I told you to do. No. I told you to do it.
Okay, sure.
A door.
What could be behind this? What's behind the door? Like,
what's behind? I don't.
Do you know what that is?
Oh, the end.
Oh, the end. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your very first performer of the evening, Wilhelm.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Alright. Wilhelm Schultz. That's me. Yeah. My name is Wilhelm Schultz, as you noted. You might recognize me from the Michael Cera Lookalike contest. I came in last. And it's a pleasure to be here. Fun fact about myself, I come from the town of Fremont, California. Any of you familiar? Yeah. Now, if you didn't already know this, there was a study that came out recently that Fremont, California was voted happiest city in the nation. And as someone who comes from Fremont, California, I can very safely say, what? Think of Fremont as like a utopia of nothing. I didn't have a bad time there per se, but #1 happiest city in the nation. Compared to, let's see, Fremont being the #1 happiest city in the nation is like UC Berkeley being the #1 public university. You show up on your first day and you're like, are you sure? Quick show of hands, how many of you have ADHD? I'm curious. Yeah? That makes sense. Don't fight for it, yeah. My therapist recommended I get screened after I told her I had 1,749 tabs open. True story. And I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD, but I have been procrastinating on getting diagnosed with ADHD. Which, if you ask me, should be the entire process for getting diagnosed with ADHD. And how long did it take you to schedule this appointment? You have ADHD. In my defense, I actually did book an appointment months in advance, but the doctor called me 3 days before that appointment to tell me, hey, I'm actually going to be out of town. The next appointment available is 3 months from now. Hear me out. Between the two of us, between me and the doctor, which one of us is exhibiting symptoms of forgetfulness and lack of planning? What was I talking about? So anyways, I started doing meditation in lieu of that. Any to meditate? 2 people. 3, including myself. There's an app I use that gives these like guided meditations. The issue is that the gurus that are guiding me through tend to say really weird, out-of-pocket kind of stuff. There's this one tape that goes, welcome. Please, don't listen to this audio recording if you're operating heavy machinery or driving. How many times has that been an issue that they had to include a warning for it? I mean, how many oil rigs have crashed into orphanages because people have been, aligning their chakras? There's another one that goes, from time to time, your mind might wander. Treat your mind like a puppy. Beat the puppy. What? Why was that your first thought? Why are you the one giving me advice and I'm the one in therapy? Here, let's try it together. Everyone close your eyes. I'm serious. Everyone close your eyes. Yeah, everyone, we're going to do a little meditation session together, okay? Everyone close your eyes. Imagine that you're sitting by a lake. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Windy lake. You look into the water's reflection, and you see that your bulldozer is heading straight towards that chihuahua. Oh, God! You can open your eyes. How does that make you feel? Meditative, relaxed? Alright, I'm running out of time here, but I want to do a quick little experiment. How many of you guys know what a hear me out is? Yeah. For the uninformed, a hear me out is a person's personal character or actress that they find attractive when no one else does. Okay, that's something unconventional that you have to explain to your friends. You have to say, hear me out for. Popular examples include Velma Dinkley, House from House MD, the uppercase G in Google, not the lowercase g. Now, chat, I'm curious. Anyone in the audience want to share or hear me out? What's the craziest hear me out we got? Please, I see you shaking your head. I don't know. That was a quick hand. What do you got for me?
My GSI.
Now, you call it a hear me out, but based off the number of Reddit posts I've seen thirsting over GSIs, would you be inclined to share details about your GSI? What class? What major? No, that's fair. You don't want to incriminate yourself. Okay, I respect that. I mean, at least you didn't say Oski, because that's like the other one that like half the subreddit's on. There's a lot of like weird white from Oski fan. Someone make me stop talking. Anyone else have a different? Oh, what do you got?
Mufasa.
So Fraser Cal is actually in the room. No. Tell me, what about Mufasa does it for you?
Bold.
You didn't have to pick a fucking lion! I mean, a lot of people say the angelfish from Finding Nemo, so I guess that's not like the weirdest thing you'd say, but here, I'll do one more, because again, I'm the one to, wait. Oh, okay, you went first, sorry, Bill. Yes.
Sally from Cars.
You know, I was gonna say Lightning McQueen is one of the examples. I was like, no, that's too weird. They're gonna think, Wilhelm, you wanna fuck a car? No. Thank you for validating my original bit. Sally from Cars. What does it for you? Is it like autophilia? Is there a name for it, or is it just like you like the curves? It's both? It's a mix of both. I respect that. Well, you guys want to know what my hear me out is?
Yeah.
You guys. Don't think about that too hard. My name is Wilhelm Schultz. Thank you so much. You've been an amazing audience.
Give it up one more time for Wilhelm, everyone. I'm glad that you listen to podcasts. It lets me know that I'm not the only person lonely, really. It's great. No, podcasts are awesome. They're a lot like my experience at a party where everyone kind of talks in the middle and then I just kind of sit and listen. No, I really do like podcasts, and I've kind of noticed kind of an interesting phenomenon about them, which is that towards the end of a podcast run, like the producers of the show will start to upload trailers for different podcasts in place of the podcast. Like that's kind of weird. Like, can you imagine if we did this for people? Like I'm just kind of lying in my deathbed, you know, surrounded by my loved ones, and a nurse walks in and said, "Oh, what did you like, Noah? Well, then you'll love Wilhelm." He's a lot like Noah. He has the same comedic sensibilities, except he does jokes about dogs. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your second comedian of the night. I'm proud to announce Rachel. Give it up for Rachel.
How we feeling? How we doing? Yeah, so I was walking down Sproul recently, and I don't know if you guys have seen, there are these Girl Scouts selling cookies. Fuck the Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts, they like to pretend that they're so innocent. The Girl Scouts, they know exactly what they're doing. Because anytime I see someone coming from that booth, they always have a box of cookies in one hand and a joint in the other. And so I'm like, what is this phenomenon? And so I look at the Girl Scouts, and then I look across the street, and what do I see but a fucking smoke shop? The Girl Scouts, they set themselves up outside of the smoke shop. If that's not targeting the vulnerable, I don't know what is. It's crazy. Like, that's such shady shit. I'm not surprised that they only take Venmo. I like the Girl Scouts. This is, I have no transition. Anyone been going to frats recently? Yeah, I've been going to frats a few times. It's getting harder and harder to like get into frats. Like, you used to just be able to like flash your tits and it would be fine. But these days it's pretty hard. So I asked my friend, she's somewhere in the crowd, I was like, what do I do to get into a frat? She's like, Rachel, you need to say that you know a brother, okay? And I'm no amateur. I rely on statistics. So, statistically, what I say to the frat brothers at the door is, no, yeah, I know a brother. Do you know him? I think, Mohammed? If that one doesn't work, I usually try, like, Kyle. I feel like Kyle's good. Second choice. Yeah, the frat bros, they also really like to ask about your major. So I'll lie. I'll say that I'm undecided. Because a frat guy's favorite thing is a woman who can't give a definitive answer. So that was, yeah. I haven't gone to frats, admittedly, as much as I'd like, because I'm actually taken, so it makes things a little harder. Anyone here in a relationship? Yeah. It's pretty hard being in a relationship, especially when it's with an online scammer. It makes things really difficult. Her name's Sarah from Temu. Sarah, we're so codependent, it's crazy. She'll text me from like 5 different emails. I'm like, what is it? Yeah, so Sarah, she sends me a text one day. She's like, hi, I'm Sarah from Temu. And I have a flexible job opportunity for you. It's like $40 an hour, you know, standard scammer text. Next day, I kid you not, I get the exact same email. But it's from like john.microsoft@iCloud. I'm like, fuck, Sarah, am I not meeting your needs? I think Sarah might be cheating on me. We're going through a little bit of a rough patch, because I didn't click that link she sent me to reset my Verizon passcode. So she's like, very upset about that. It's a big issue. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you whether or not I'm like actually in a relationship, but I feel like you can probably guess based on the fact that I get really excited every time I go through the TSA. I love the TSA. That's not cool though. Yeah, they're like, take off your shoes. I'm like, only if you take me to a back room for questioning. I'm such a TSA fan. Not just because, like, for the romantic reasons, but also because I'm from New York. So the TSA is just like a nice reminder that we're post 9/11. It's just like, it's so helpful. I love it so much. It makes you feel safe, but it's like a false sense of safety. Like the TSA is to New Yorkers what the consent talk is to frat parties. I mean, it does nothing. But it makes you feel a little safer. Yeah, I know that safety at a frat is not guaranteed. I will say that, but the one thing that is guaranteed is that my man Muhammad will always let me in if I tell him I'm undecided. Thank you.
One more time, Rachel, let me know. You know, I'm in something with the TSA too. You know, one time I tried to bring in a whole bunch of fireworks and they were like, stop. Like the other day I was on a plane and I learned that one of the items that you can't take on a plane is bleach. And I'm like, what's the deal with that? Like, does bleach pose a weaponized threat? What would weaponized bleach even look like? Like, bam, haha, you're blonde now. New movie title, Legally Blonde. Yeah. Give it up for our next comedian, Sebastian.
How are we doing tonight?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could have heard, but my walkout song is by The Lonely Island. Shout out them. Berkeley's finest, right? Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it, y'all. British people aren't real. Okay? If you have any British people in the crowd, I'm sorry, but you're faking it. I know you're faking it because every time you sing, you're singing in an American accent. Alright? Like, think of Adele, right? Queen of pop, legend of the game. And she's singing, right? Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Fully American, right? Then you watch an interview. You're like, who the hell is this person? She's going, hello, I'm Adele. How are we today? Yeah, you know, I really like how the drums came in on that song, you know? Yeah. And, you know, you can imagine, why would she sing that in her own natural accent, right? Can you imagine that? Never mind, I'll find someone like you, right? And it's not just an Adele thing, right? Every British person does this, right? Think of One Direction, right? You got Niall, you got Harry, you got those other ones. And you know, they're singing their song, and they're like, you're insecure, don't know what for, right? Fully American accent. And you watch me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, I really enjoyed how the drums came in and the band really came together on that song. You know, we were having a lot of fun. You know, we really enjoyed it. And Harry's all like, yeah, I'm cool, Harry Styles, right? And the other ones are doing whatever the fuck they do. And then, don't mention the back, sorry. So, I think this all started with the Beatles, right? And you know, you think of the Beatles, they're singing, Hey Jude, right? Fully American. And then you remember the Beatles can't actually sing in their natural accent because the Beatles are from Liverpool. all right? And the Liverpudlian accent, for those of you who don't know, it's called Scouse. And it sounds a bit like this, you know what I'm trying to say? Can you imagine them trying to sing like this? It's fucking crazy, lads. It's insane. How the fuck are they going to do that? Right? I'm Paul McCartney and I'm here to sing Hey Jude. Like, what? No. Right? So, it's a great thing, but I think it's a bad trend that they started, right? But I feel worse for the people who are actually from Liverpool, because they have to live like that. Can you imagine just going about your day-to-day as someone from Liverpool, right? You're really sad, you lost your grandma or something. Your friend's from Liverpool, you're trying to comfort them, he's just going, I really miss you, you know, I'm sorry, I can't, like... I would just sorry about your grandma, bro, but... right? But I think the worst thing, and it confuses me to this day, is how people from Liverpool reproduce, right? I don't get it. Right? How does the dirty talk go, right? A guy from Liverpool's going, yeah, you fucking like that? Like, killing the room instantly, right? Girl from Liverpool, she's going, yeah, show me, daddy, you like that? No, I will not choke you. I'm running the fuck out of the room. I'm not even sorry for my clothes. I'm terrified. Right? But I love accents. They're my favorite thing to do in the world. But my favorite accent to do is not actually the Liverpudlian accent. It's a nice southern accent. I like a little bit of south. It's real fun. Get a bit of a gentleman vibe, you know what I'm saying. Hello, everyone. I get a little bit funny in this accent because it changes my personality, right? Like, I become a gentleman. I start holding the door for people. Come on in, right? And then I start calling the ladies darling. How you doing? But then there's a darker side to this accent. Funny enough, it does have to do with the darker side, but... the accent starts talking to me like the Green Goblin mask, you know, in that motion. Spider-Man movie. He starts going, coward, right? Except actually, it's a bit more honey, right? It's called coward, but, you know, people of color. They become colored folk. And it's a problem, you know. But, you know, to counteract this, I do a lot of things. I try and pray on it, you know. I go to church. And, you know, it reminds me of my time as a kid, right? Because when I was a kid, I went to Catholic school, right? And, you know, I went to Catholic school, kindergarten through 12th grade. And unlike most people who went to Catholic school, I don't have the same kind of, like, horror stories. Probably because, you know, I was never a victim. Of the priest when we went to church. And I think that was the first time I found out I was an ugly child. Right? Like, I applied to be an altar boy, 7, 8 years old. And then I walk into the room, the priest's here to like examine all the prospective altar boys, right? And he looks at me and he goes, get that thing out of my sight. And he started shaking. I was like, damn, like that's harsh coming from a priest, especially because, you know, he's a priest. He's not got many options, right? And maybe it's because even when I was like a 7, 8-year-old, I grew a mustache real early. I had a little like pedo stash even then. You know, maybe I just reminded the priest of, you know, like the guy who touched him. Right? Like hurt people, right? But you know, not having those terrible memories of Catholic school has led me to like re-examine, you know, what it means to be a Catholic. Even though I'm not a Catholic. Yeah, it was real fun. Didn't get the bread. I felt like left out. So. But I watched the movie Conclave recently. Anyone seen Conclave? Yeah, 3 filmmakers in the back. Shout out you guys. And Conclave, if you don't know, it's about basically the cardinals picking a new pope, right? And Conclave reminded me of the simple fact that the Catholic Church is the cuntiest church to ever grace this earth. I mean, they are just the most extra little divas to ever do it. Right? They walk in, they're ready, they're assembling, and I swear to God, they sashay in like they're on RuPaul's Drag Race. All right, time to vote for a new pope. You know, and then that's not even the worst part, or that's not even like the most extra part of the show, right? In the movie, they have to change robes because, you know, priests can't have more than, you know, they gotta have all these different robes. They gotta be real special. several costumes for these drag queens. And they wear these beautiful, like, just head-to-toe red robes. I mean, they're looking like the flag you wave in front of a bull to get it to charge. They're looking like just the deepest red of communism. They're looking like a tampon on a bad day, like just head-to-toe red. They got a little red hat, tops it off, everything. And this is how they choose a new poem, right? This is not made up, like, this is true. And they go up, and the most ridiculous part is they lock themselves in the Sistine Chapel, and then they're going down, right? And then they go up to the stage, right? And they have to certify in front of the crucifix that their vote is, like, you know, sincere from God, right? They have to say it in front of God. And they have to do this in Latin, so, of course, all of the guys get an Italian accent magically when they start doing this. Right? So even like Cardinal Lawrence, he's very soft-spoken, very British, right? He's played by Lord Voldemort. He gets up in front of the stage. He goes, I, Cardinal Lawrence, certify that this vote for Cardinal Bellini is the right vote from my heart. And then, of course, because the Catholic Church is the most extra church, they have to be extra in every way. He, instead of just putting it in a ballot box, he puts his vote on a plate and then flips it into a bowl. And that's how it ends. And yeah, I don't have a transition for this next bit, but my friend essentially, he told me to do an Irish goodbye because it's Patrick's Day. I don't know where Patrick went, but yeah. Maybe Patrick did an Irish goodbye. But yeah, I don't actually know what that is. So I will just do my best guess of what an Irish goodbye is. Thanks for listening to my set, and y'all have a good night.
Give it up for Sebastian, everyone. He's a man of many accents. You know, I have a theory. Stay with me. I have a theory that everyone has a really good Asian accent that they do by themselves when no one else is around. And I know this because of the racially ambiguous chuckling that just filled the room. Who thinks they have a good Asian accent? Who thinks they have a good Asian accent? Okay. What Asian accent are you good at? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. What Asian accent do you think that?
I used to work in a restaurant. My bosses were Cantonese.
Cantonese.
Whenever I like imitate them.
Okay, we don't want to hear it. None of us want this. But I did hear it up in here just now, and actually it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. I mean, it's up here. It's good. Don't do it. But not bad. Not bad. Anyone else? Anyone else think they have a pretty good Asian accent that they can do? Yes.
I can do like a Filipino accent.
That's great. Don't. Please don't. I saw the lips begin to, no, don't. Please don't. And I heard it up here. That's actually pretty racist. This is kind of a public place. I wouldn't do that if I were you, but anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our next performer, Ethan.
Hi everyone! How's everyone doing today? Good? Good. Okay. Personally, I'm a bit tired. Didn't sleep very well. And that's because my roommate, he keeps leaving the blinds open. And when I ask him why, he gives me like the gayest possible explanation. He's like, oh, you know, at night, I just like to look out the window and stargaze, and talk to the moon. And in the morning, I like to feel the rays of sunshine hitting my face. Like, mind you, this is like a grown man brain rotted by Pinterest. That's gayer than like actually liking men. It's almost as gay as being like an Asian male who does stand-up comedy and wears green shirts and ripped skinny denim jeans. And he also snores, but I don't have the balls to tell him to stop because he has a respiratory disease. So it's like telling like a homeless on Telegram to like get yourself a house, or telling someone who thrifts to like stop smelling bad. So I'm a little bit uncultured. Actually, like, I'm so uncultured that people think I'm a foreign exchange student. All I'm missing is the accent and a mom who works at the nail salon. So, the other day, I was finally getting to watching the Grammys, and as Kendrick was like walking up that stage to get his award, it was Beyonce of all people in the audience like singing and clapping along. And like, I wonder if like she recognizes like the insane irony in that, because she was like trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor, but she met Jay-Z when she was 16 and he was 28. So like, that's you though, you're the minor. All right, so the next bit's gonna be about morals. Yay. I would have thought there would have been like at least like one ultra deep white male philosophy major in like the audience who's like super excited. Any philosophy majors in here? Any white people in here? Alright, okay, so that's enough. You shouldn't be applauding people for being white. This is not a Klan meeting. Alright, so recently there's been this huge moral panic about how this generation is like way too promiscuous. But actually the research says otherwise. So for most demographics, the median number of sexual partners has actually decreased since the 50s. Now, for college-educated men, we've seen the biggest dip. Is this because of like a shift in morality or because of the influx of EECS majors? Alright. But like what I'm curious about is like, how exactly do they like conduct these studies? Like, sure you can do a survey, but like dudes love to lie about this kind of stuff. So it's like, yo bro, how many girls you been with? Like 69. So like, that's why the golden rule is to always divide by 5. Unless the number is not divisible by 5, then I guess it doesn't work. Because how do you sleep with like 3/5 of a girl? Unless we travel back to like 17. I've sort of become like the Trump of libraries. It sounds like a paradox, because like, that man doesn't like to read. Ever since like Moffitt closed down, there's been this huge influx of Moffittese asylum seekers immigrating as well. And as a native Doverkin, I have to say like, they're stealing our seats. They're not assimilating into our culture. Talking in main sacks. Eating the cats, eating the dogs. Cats and dogs are actually code words for gypsies and Yoko, by the way. And listen, ASUC elections coming up very, very soon. So make sure you vote for the initiative to not require just IDs to enter DOE, but also proof of your Doverkin citizenship.
Give it up for Ethan, everyone. Yeah. You know, Ethan really is just a great all-around performer, and I just wanted to say. What are we doing here? What is this? No, I'm just saying. What are you doing? I'm trying to.
Well, it's kind of my day, you know.
You know, I was just kind of thinking that. Are you gonna do something?
Well, what do you? I mean, if you don't want to MC with me, you don't have to. I don't know. I feel like kind of step back and like blend in, you know, look at your name, and like, you got green Spider-Man.
Are you gonna let me do this?
Yeah, let's
Like, Moffat Library, if room temperature was a place. You know, you can eat and drink in Moffat Library. It's a lot like Cafe Strada, but without sunlight or anything good. Moffat Library is pretty cool. You know, it's designed as if a daycare were also an airport. It is somehow neither of these things. It is instead a third worse thing that is maybe purgatory. Like Moffat Library is made out of several levels, which was actually Dante's inspiration. He told my publishers to tone it down for the mass market. Yeah, they said it's going to be done in like a year and a half. It'll take every semester. I hope it gets better. And you know what's about to get better? This awesome set by Daniela that we're about to get into.
You know it's a good day. So let's cut right to the chase. I wasn't the coolest kid growing up. I think you can tell because I'm here right now. And you know what? My mom, she just always told me like, you know, like you don't have to change for anyone. Just be who you are. Like everyone will love you. She said that unless I was around her friends, and she appreciated when I shut up. So. Yeah, but shoot, what was I gonna say? Shoot, what was I gonna say? I was there with my mom, and like her face just like flashed over my eyes. Oh yeah, and about that. So she always thought I was on something because I do that thing sometimes. And she'd always tell me like, Dani, that's not. Oh, Dani, you're on something. So I'd go to like my friend's house, and she'd go pick me up like when I'm done. And she, like, as soon as I sit down in the car seat, she'd like sniff me down like a TSA dog. Like, what are you on? Who gave it to you? Why are your eyes red? Are you high? And I'm like, Mom, we just watched Encanto. So yeah, I've never like actually like, you know, smoked anything. I have asthma, so the only thing puffing is my inhaler. You should say I'm high off of life. I got here to Berkeley, and then everyone thought that my inhaler was a new type of vape. And I had like people trying to buy it off of me, or give me a LinkedIn connection, because that's worth something here. But yeah, I've actually never been on drugs before, like any drug before, and I don't have a preference towards anything. But you know, as a former narc, in elementary school, I took Red Ribbon Week so seriously, hugs not drugs, and it wasn't until I got to Berkeley that I felt like a loser. You know how lame you have to be to feel like a loser at Berkeley? This is like a new all-time low for me. I feel like I went to my classes and everyone and their moms did ketamine at least once. And everyone did at least crack with their professor at least twice. It's like my friend and I, we went to a frat party one time, and we just turned around and the DJ's doing poppers, and I think that's why the set was popping. That was a dumb one. Yeah, and I looked like a kid at the zoo just pointing. I was like, look, Mom, look! You're doing poppers! And like my hands all over the glass, like flash photography. I'm like pounding on the door. Look! Oh yeah, but about the puffing thing, yeah, I had asthma growing up, like I said. And I'd use that shit for everything as an excuse. It was like actually insane. So I'm from the Central Valley, so that's not something to cheer about. That's not a good thing. So, and I use asthma an excuse a lot. And you're only a cool kid if you didn't have an inhaler. So I'd go up to my teacher, like, you know, miss, it's just like, I'm having a really hard time with this project. I don't think I can do it. Like, I need an extension. And she'd look at me and confused. She's like, Daniela, this is your 4th grade mission project. You can do it. Yeah, growing up, I didn't have any of the ABCs. Animal Jam, bitches, and cavities. So, I'm kidding. I had a lot of cavities. Yeah, but did anyone play like online, like multiplayer games growing up?
Yeah.
Good one. Anyone play Animal Jam? Yeah. What was your like animal you picked for your character?
Oh man, I think it was like a fox.
Oh, the fox? Okay, rich bitch, I see you. I was a koala. Yeah, so I love Animal Jam so much. I would beg my mom for a membership. And I even made like a presentation about it, like reasons why I need Animal Jam, how it'll make my life better, how it'll make your life better. And she gave in one day. She took me to the real zoo. And I'm not disappointed, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Like we pull up, I'm like, the penguin's not breakdancing. This koala's boring as fuck, it doesn't even have drip. Did anyone ever play like Club Penguin? Okay, Club Penguin baddies here, okay, it's you. So, yeah, I've been watching the news recently. You know, I'll just say it, I think they should stop investigating the Diddy parties. And I think the government should start focusing on like more larger stuff, like the Club Penguin igloo parties. You know, that's where the real freaks were at. And yeah, I'll be the first one to say it. I think they should start investigating my Club Penguin igloo parties. Fish oil, extra large dance floor, uncensored chat. Ain't no party like an igloo party. And I'll be real, I think the people at my Club Penguin igloo parties were old enough to be at the Diddy parties. And so, yeah, I was probably getting groomed, but at least someone was paying attention to me. But thank you so much, you were all great.
Okay, why is it different now that I'm closer to you? Because at first I thought we had something here, but now I'm starting to think you just like me from my distance.
We love you.
We've got a couple more performers tonight, and up next is one of the top 8 performers of the night. Give it up for Charlie, everyone.
I'll let you guys know I can't see you at all. Obviously, had a lot of great performers up here tonight, so feeling like comparing myself to them. But I have to remember, comparison is a thief of joy.
Amen.
I think it's only if you lose the comparison. I think if you won, you may even be more happy. But maybe I'm just a bad person. Alright. You guys, anybody here watch sports?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe even post-game interviews? Okay, a lot of people said yes to that. I like to imagine what would happen if you were interviewing maybe a non-Christian quarterback. I'd like to thank my receivers for catching. I'd like to thank my blockers for blocking. I'd like to thank the coach for drawing up plays. Of course, I'd like to thank the man upstairs, the manager. Put a brilliant team around me. Oh yeah, Allahu Akbar. Alright, anybody here listens to rap music? Okay, maybe 90s gangster rap music? Okay, yeah, I like it, but I have a big problem with it. It's just too homophobic. That wasn't even a joke, dog. My issue is not just that it's homophobic, but really, bigger than that, is that it's too contradictory. They say all this homophobic shit, obviously, but they also say way more gay shit. Just like so much. Let me give you guys a few examples. Biggie Smalls says, "So pretty, I want to suck her daddy's dick for the recipe." I don't know about you guys, but that's never happened to me. Maybe just built different, big family calories, I don't know. Another one, DMX, Rough Riders, hopefully you guys know what that is. At Berkeley, you never know. DMX, he said, I forget it. No, I remember. So, DMX said, I'll fuck you till you love it. That's crazy gay, dude. My big question is, what's the gayest part of it? Is it the gay sex that he's having with this man? Or is it that he really, really wants the guy to love it? One last one. I know that DMX, he hated a guy named Ja Rule. Maybe you guys know, maybe you guys don't. Doesn't matter for the joke. Ja Rule, in DMX's diss, he tells him to, you can hold his dick, you can hold my dick while he's sucking it. Sure, gay, but why did nobody in the studio tell him, hey DMX, that doesn't sound nearly as intimidating as it does sound gay. Alright, let's move on to a different topic. I can see how maybe that joke would have made you think that I'm homophobic. But this next one is actually super trans affirming. I'm sure everybody here knows Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
You guys may not know this. Before Caitlyn Jenner transitioned, she was a great driver. Clean record, no incidents. In 2015, she transitioned. Boom! Vehicular homicide on someone's grandma. You know, if you want to convince Republicans that you're a woman, that's a great way. Oh yeah, a couple more jokes for you. I just need to check my March Madness bracket. Alright, anybody here have their parents lie to them? Alright, I heard a me, yes, nice. My mom would lie to me all the time when I was younger. She lied about being allergic to dogs, so I wouldn't get a dog. She lied about my grandpa being dead, so I wouldn't get a grandpa. So I had to take this knowledge into account whenever she would talk to me about something. One day, me, my brother, and my mom were walking back from my school. On the way, she says, oh, we got robbed, so we broke into the house and stole the computers. My mom hates the computers, so I'm sure she's lying. Not only is she lying, she thinks I'm so stupid that I would believe this insane lie, that our house in Oakland was burglarized and somebody lied. The whole time I'm walking back, questioning how she could feel her own son is this stupid. We get back, I see the door, broken down with a big ass footprint. She's really into this lie. You know, I go around, I search the house, and I don't find anything. So I go back to my mom, pretty sad, and she pulls out 2 computers from behind her back. I'm lying, we did get robbed. It was my neighbor. Never recovered it. Alright, let's finish with one last joke. For this joke, it's important that you know I'm Jewish. Not even close to a punchline, guys. Not even close. But as some of you may know, Trump is making an anti-Semitism task force to visit great schools like our own. And I don't want to side with the bad guys here, but I think anti-Semites must think of themselves as the bravest of racists. Because, stay with me now, all the other racists, they're hating on people they think are lesser than them, weaker than them, smaller than them, have no means. Anti-Semites, they're always gassing us the fuck up. We rule the world, we run the banks, we run the media. I hate to say it, but it takes balls to stand up to a guy who can freeze your bank account. Alright, I've been Charlie, thank you guys.
Give it up for Charlie, everyone. Pat, come on up.
Thanks, Nella. You know, that was really good. I love Charlie. You know, Charlie, isn't Charlie really great? Can I give him for Charlie?
Yeah!
Charlie saved my dog from a house fire. Did you know that?
No, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like, it wasn't even, I don't even, it was in a completely different postal code. Like, I didn't even know I had a dog.
Oh, so it wasn't in your house?
No, yeah, he was just like, and the Charlie was like, he came down.
Any other stories about Charlie?
I think, let's move on to our next performer, really great, Sofia.
Hello, everybody. Are we excited? I'm feeling so good about tonight. I'm only feeling a little bit weird, just a tiny bit. Is anybody else chronically online here? Yeah, I know you are. But yeah, sometimes I have friends that aren't, and so it kind of feels like I'm a little kid explaining to my mom about like an imaginary friend. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, "You won't believe what I saw today," and she'd be like, "Is it real?" Yes, it's a vampire from 100 years ago called Nosferatu that yells "Bowser and crazy style." Let's go to the doctor, sweetie. It's okay. It's normal at your age. But yeah, I mean, apart from being really chronically online, I'm also a bit of like a theater kid at heart. Thank you guys. I mean, I'm doing this, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, this will be relevant to the story, by the way. Anyways, the other day I got up, I'm in the dorms, and I like hop in the shower, and I'm in there, and I'm like, yes, I'm showering, it's a good morning, like, having a great time. I'm listening to musicals, of course, the theater kid in me. And all of a sudden, my shower's over, and I open the curtain, and there's no towel. And no, because that's not funny. That's not funny, now is it? And so yeah, there's no towel, and so, oh my god, I have to look at the ceiling, I can't look at you guys right now. And so I basically had to run outside for paper towels to dry myself up. So I ran outside naked. By the way, my floor and my RAs are here. But yeah, I ran outside naked, dried myself up with paper towels. But I think what's funnier about this story is the fact that during this entire time, the Reynolds pamphlets by Hamilton is playing in the fucking background. So I'm just gonna act it out for you guys. But it was basically like the Reynolds pamphlets. Have you read this, Hamilton? I'm reading it right now. This is terrible. This is awful. What do you mean there's no towel? You know what I mean? And so, as I'm drying myself off with the paper towel, it's just, this is the song, it's, "You're never gonna be president." Obviously not with these organizational skills, Jesus fucking Christ. Also, I'm not American, but you know, that's like not relevant. But yeah, that's my set, guys. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Sofia, everyone. You know, I do a little political comedy as well. You know, I got some political jokes. I got one. I'm workshopping this one. So, here we go. Gay Obama. Let me be queer. Obama walking closer to you. Let me be near. Obama choosing his persona. Let me be dear. Obama when you took his favorite seat. Let me be here. Obama when he stubs his toe. Ouch. You guys, we have had such a fun night together. I really, from the bottom of my heart, it's just been fantastic. And you know, before we go, we just wanted to take a moment reflect.
Unwind.
Really, it's taking longer than we timed this up.
Well, I'm gonna get started with this. Thanks you all for coming.
Yeah, it's time to celebrate.
When I
We love you all, but yeah, Daniela, everyone. Oh, Will?
That was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I know you took that one. No, yeah. I know that was good.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, they like it. I don't know. They're just kind of. It was it was very Charlie said.
Oh, really? That's true.
I was so stressed out making this thing. Guys, I was sweating. I was so worried that you guys wouldn't get to see this. Oh, wait. Woo!
Charlie.
But no, I like this song. I like this song. Alright,
Yeah, it's Charlie. So,
that was nice. Yes. Oh, there's like a door. There's like a door.
why is there a door? What's
There's like this door. I don't know why I thought it was like a liquor. I don't know. Yeah, Sonic's in the back. That's it again.
Oh my god. That's great. Oh,
Yeah, look at that. Sebastian. Just as stressed out. So stressed out. Oh, yeah.